Imagine your business not just surviving, but thriving. Your wealth locked in, your opportunities exploding, and your family's future built on a legacy that never fades. I'm Leah Garcia, a financial strategist and insurance professional. I help entrepreneurs and high-growth enterprises protect, distribute, and transfer their wealth through my proven system, the Wall of Wealth. I unite your experts into one cohesive strategy because the most expensive line on your balance sheet isn't debt or taxes, it's conflicting advice. Ready to align every dollar with your mission and turn today's success into tomorrow's divine promise. Wealth today, dynasty tomorrow.
Come on in, champions. Happy Wealthy Wednesday. Today is going to be epic. I'm super excited about my guest speaker. She's been here before. She's a powerhouse, a force to be reckoned with. I'm telling you, you're going to love this. So come on in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Grab some tea, something to drink. Grab your fuzzy bunny slippers. Take a notepad because she's going to drop golden nuggets from the word go. So we are live here. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube. We are live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook. How you doing? Let us know where you're tuning in from, right? I just love it. Listen, this show is intended to bring value. And today is going to be action-packed and definitely value-driven. So let us know where you're tuning in from. We want to hear from you. And by the way, this is also meant to be interactive. If you're here, it's probably because you're an entrepreneur, business owner, some type of enterprise, or you are striving to be an entrepreneur, solopreneur, business owner in some form or fashion. And so this is your opportunity to connect with each other. Go ahead and connect with each other in the comments. Shout yourself out. Schedule some no-pitch coffee chats. I want this to be a collaboration because this is what collaboration is all about in 2026. It's a new currency. And I want to hello to, oh my gosh, Coach Pal is here. Oh my goodness, Coach Pal, it's so great to see you. Oh my goodness, today's going to be epic. And so I'm going to introduce my guest speaker, although I have to tell you that she's somebody that I really admire and respect. She came onto LinkedIn and she did exactly what I think we all should do. She became courageous. She was already courageous, but she went ahead and showed up for herself. She started rah-rahing herself. She started connecting with the comments, having coffee chats, and that's what it's all about. I have done myself the queen of no-pitch coffee chats. I think that we need to have more conversations. That's how we find all the gold in each other. So here's my guest speaker. Her name is Paula Washington. She's a business and leadership strategist, a speaker, an author who helps seasoned women leaders step fully into their encore era, the powerful season of aligning experience, intention, and legacy. I love legacy. She created the Encore Playbook and the Encore Reset Journal with a foreword by me. Oh my gosh, I got chills just saying that, you guys. I'm so honored she asked me to write the foreword. And you know what? She brings a dynamic presence, practical strategy, and laughter to every room. Her work honors a lineage of visionary women and continues that legacy as path makers for leaders redefining success on their own terms. How about that? How about that? So without further ado, please give it up for my incredible guest speaker, Miss Paula Washington. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesday, my love.
Hello, Leah. I am so glad to be with you today. Hello, everybody. We're going to have a great time. This is such a wonderful time. You know, Leah is so special to me. And when she agreed to write the foreword, that really blessed me so much. So this is our little baby with all our butterflies in the book. And we're going to share some great things with you today.
Absolutely. I agree. And, you know, I think it's really about us having those real collaborations, those conversations. So many times I meet a striving entrepreneurs, or maybe they're already in that, they're in that direction, but they have this fear of having these individual conversations. And I don't understand what that's about. I just don't even understand it. I just think those collaborations need to happen. And so you showed up here so dynamic. I mean, you were already dynamic. But would you kind of give maybe some words of wisdom to someone that is apprehensive about reaching out to have those collaborations, kind of getting in the comments, because believe 2026 is our year to get in the mix. It is our year to get in the comments, shout ourselves out, and connect.
Exactly.
So give some words of wisdom, because you are so amazing at that.
Oh, well, thank you so much. One of the things is, if you decide to do this thing and you put all your investment into this idea of you having a business, you better bet on yourself and win every day. So you make a challenge for yourself. I'll take 2 calls today. I'll take 3 calls tomorrow. And you make challenges each day for you to overcome something. Because the best thing that can happen is they, 1, enjoy who you are. 2, you get an opportunity you never thought of. And 3, the greatest thing is your confidence. You have to believe in you. Nobody's going to believe in you until you do it. And okay, so sometimes you may stumble, but after a while, it'll build and you'll continue to grow and you'll get momentum and people will call you back. Yay. So I would say take the first step and bet on yourself.
Bet on yourself. Absolutely. And oftentimes when I talk to people about these no pitch coffee chats, they always ask me, well, what do I talk about? And it's not about talking at all. To me, in my mind, it's about listening. Be a good listener. Look, be a student. Be curious about who they are and genuinely be curious. You're not there. We're not talking about pitch slapping. We're not talking about selling anything. Having a true conversation. And that will absolutely help you to build your confidence. Maybe they need what you do. Maybe they don't. Maybe they can connect you with somebody. Heck, maybe you just learn to get to know someone. I mean, I don't think there's any harm in getting to know another human, right?
No, there isn't. And the thing about it is, after COVID, one thing it taught us about human connection. There's nothing like human connection. And it may not even be about you. I met with someone yesterday. We had a great conversation. Whether we do business or not is irrelevant. But he was going through a challenge because he was caregiving for his parent. I've done that 4 times. So I was able to listen to him and provide him with some information and some comfort of what he's going to be facing in the next couple of weeks. So we need to be open and sensitive to the people that are around us, because it's not always about you. It's about maybe what you have to share with them to make their day brighter. And then who knows, you two have a great conversation. Who knows who'll call you in the future? But it's not about that. One of the great things about the baby boomer generation is that we are conversationalists. We do connect. Don't let technology get in the middle between you and your next best relationship.
Yeah, I love that. What did I tell you? She's dropping gold already. I want to welcome a few people officially who have joined us. I want to give a shout out to Coach Marvin Powell. If you don't know, then you just don't know Coach Powell. He's incredible. And he's one of these people that I did have a no pitch coffee chat with. I do an event with a collaboration and it's at 4 a.m. and we just connected from there, and you just never know. And then we've done some collaborations. Listen, everyone needs a Coach Marvin Powell in their pocket. I'm telling you, I'm so honored that you're here today. Thank you so much, Coach Powell. Great to see you. And then we have, of course, our very own Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers. She's actually our mentor when it comes to all things money. She has her money podcast on Friday. It's a Think and Grow Rich. If you have never studied Think and Grow Rich, or if you feel like you really studied it, you need to connect with her. It's at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard. And she also does her Mind Over Matter Mondays, which we love that. So incredible. Thank you, Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers, for seeing us and being here today. Appreciate you so much. And then we have the great Coral. Oh my gosh, Coral is here. Coral is my good friend across the pond. She joins us every morning at 4 a.m. So it's a different time on her area, but she's always there in the comments. And I'm going to tell you, this is a woman that knows how to show up for herself. She is constantly, and what I mean by that is she's putting comments in the comments. She's actually showing up and getting in the mix. And it doesn't mean that you're here telling everybody about what you do. It means that you are recognizing and seeing other people. That is a secret sauce, you folks. I'm telling you, Coral is the queen of that. She's the queen of the comments, Coral. Thank you for showing up. It's great to see you. And then we have my good friend, Christy Williams. Thank you for joining us. She is our customer service professional, but she's so much more than that. She is our LinkedIn cheerleader. Whenever she is available, because she does have a busy schedule, she takes the time to come over. We appreciate you so much, Christy. Great to see you. And then we have the amazing Miss Lisa Favec. She is our menopause mentor, all things health. If you want to know about health, you want to know how to do the pairings with the right vitamins, the right strategy for you. She specializes in women, but I'm going to say what she talks about is good nutrition, which we all need good nutrition. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. So it's incredible to see everybody. We appreciate you, and show up in the comments for yourself, right? Show up in the comments. We all need to rah-rah ourselves sometimes. So let's talk about this encore, right? Wealth, wisdom, and that next. What is that next? So how did you actually come upon this? Because your book is a dynamic. It absolutely is. You give so many great golden nuggets and practical things to do. So how did you kind of evolve into thinking that you wanted to really reach this sector of women who are looking at that encore career?
Well, it's so interesting. I had an encore in my life and an epiphany. We had some loss with some family members, and I was looking at the history of where I came from while I was putting together this material, because I was looking at, well, if my great grandmother went to school and graduated college in 1894, none of us have a right to wimp out about anything as far as education or what we can or cannot do, because she wasn't even supposed to be there. And then her daughter went to Juilliard, became a pianist and a real estate broker, and helped people get into neighborhoods that they weren't able to get in. And then my mom was the only female manager in a branch in a major bank in New York, and the only other women were tellers and secretaries. So when I hit my 60s, I was like, oh, this is the best time ever. Let me have an encore. My mentor, Flory Roberts of Flory Roberts Cosmetics, told me, create a microphone that the big boys won't take and stand center stage on your own platform and cheer for yourself. So on the Encore playbook, that's why you see a woman standing center stage, owning it for herself. And then on the Reset Journal, yes, that's the first book that I published. Yes. And then the Reset Journal with Leah and I, what I decided to do was the butterflies, because we're all evolving into these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful butterflies. And so the Encore framework, which is the E is for exit with intention, N is for navigating the new, C is for commit, communicate, and equal authentic connections, and O is for opportunity. Recognize the opportunities, create the opportunities, seize the opportunities. Today's an opportunity. Anybody you see in the comments, go and say hello to them. You never know. Just communicate and learn to do that. And then R is for relevance. You have to be relevant. You have to have realistic goals that resonate with the people you are going to be working with, as well as yourself. And then E is excellence, your personal trademark. What are you the go-to person for? There's only one you that does something extremely unique. We know what everybody else did. It's on TV, it's on all over. But what do you do? And who are you? Can you just show up for you? And so when we look at Encore, it's about taking everything we've ever done and not recreating it or reinventing it, because we're a new person in this decade than we were in the last decade. So what worked at 50 or 40 or 30 is not going to work at 60. It's not happening. But the tools and skills that you have can be repackaged and leveraged for something wonderful going forward. So can we have fun doing business and making money?
Oh my gosh, I love it. So many golden nuggets. There's so much wisdom. I say absolutely. If you want a microphone, you want a space to be able to communicate with people and showcase, and people aren't inviting you, create your own stage, right? Create your own show, create your own event, create a podcast, create your own stage and rah yourself. I'm telling you, we've got to get more courageous. And I'm not speaking just to the women. I see a lot of men in the audience too that are still, and it is being more courageous. But at the same time, what will happen is you're going to refine your voice. You're going to find your voice. I believe the more you speak your mind, the more that you grow your mind. But if you're there in the closet all the time, afraid to get into the comments, you're afraid to speak out your voice, then you're never going to grow it.
I agree 100%. Because the thing about it is, you have to hear your own truth. You can know your truth, but if you don't speak your truth, how are you going to convince yourself? You know, the greatest thing we do at times is offend our own our own confidence by shrinking back. Our conscience is like, well, you said this and you said that. Is what do you believe? One day it's this, one day it's that. No. What is your truth? Stick to it. Because you are the only one that's the master of your own ship. And if you're not going to sail it and direct it in the way it needs to go, other people will do it for you, or you'll get tossed to and fro.
Getting tossed to and fro. And so here's the thing is that I would love to know, you kind of touched on this. I do believe that we do ebb and flow. So there's a difference between constantly changing your mind. I believe like if you have your core values in place, your message is going to evolve and grow, but you're not going to be swishing around like a reckless. Does that make sense? Would you agree with that?
I agree 100%. When you're clear and you're focused and you have one message, it evolves over time. It doesn't look like it's when you first started. The concept is still there, but the context in which you present it, the way in which you offer different products and services may be different, because guess what? Times change. Technology changes. All of these different changes in the world require your attention to shift how you are presenting your message, the way you want to communicate, and who you want to engage with. As we evolve as human beings, we may started out working with a certain group of people, and we realize as we get older and we mature or what have you, we may change the shift and go to another group of people. Doesn't mean we won't work with them. It just means that, you know, this is where we are now. And so never be afraid of evolving. You know, it's like the butterfly in the cocoon. It evolves and it comes out, and the wings are beautiful, you know, but you don't start that way. But start with something. You only need one thing to focus on. And if you take that one thing and grow it, you'll be surprised where you'll end up, especially from year to year. Give yourself those markers, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 18 months. Give yourself those markers and set up a system where you are accountable to yourself.
Yeah. And I love the idea of repackaging. I think that, so for me, I was a stay-at-home mom for 19 years. And, you know, that really translate onto a resume. You know, it doesn't really pay very much, right? But I love what I did. So we're not saying to forget what you did there. We're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. We're saying bring your wisdom, bring your knowledge, and bring your confidence from what you did. I was a very confident stay-at-home mom. I love being a stay-at-home mom. I took my kids to all the events. I was, you know, the parent club and all of that. I volunteered in all my kids' classrooms every single week. I did all that, and I love doing it. So we're not saying forget who you were in that former life. We're saying bring that wisdom with you, and that's a secret sauce. That's where you can really shine and repackage yourself. I love the way you phrase that. We're repackaging and redefining. We're not saying that was your old career. Maybe you were a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you had a traditional W-2, and now you're ready to go ahead. Your encore career is going to be that entrepreneur, solopreneur. Maybe you're going to start a business.
Absolutely. You know, the beautiful thing about life is you get to live it every day on your own terms. When you get to a certain stage where you don't really care anymore and you're focused on who you are as a person and what you have to share, the only thing you want to do is bring yourself and be present every time you show up. So, you know, whatever stage of life, your 20 decade, you're not in your 30 decade, you don't really like the things in your 20 decade, but you got skills. Let's keep moving those decades forward and pulling the best out of them for your today and your now, for who you are today and how you plan to show up today.
Absolutely. And I'm going to make a little confession here. So when I started this show and started doing these things on LinkedIn and stuff, I started on LinkedIn. And it's probably been about 3 years that I really started showing up on LinkedIn and doing events and things. And the reason I showed up on LinkedIn and I started there was because I knew none of my colleagues or friends or family were on LinkedIn. So I figured nobody's going to see me anyway. This is okay. It's a safe space, right? I can muck it all up. I don't know anybody here anyway. And right now, today, I'm streaming to my personal Facebook page. Okay. I've never done that. And the reason why was because, listen, we all got critics. Is it just me? Or do we all have people who are going to criticize us? I'm almost kind of perspiring as I'm saying this. I'm so nervous because it is going out to my personal Facebook page. I know people are going to see this who don't even know that I'm doing any of this stuff. And so probably going to get some criticism, but you know what? That's what I've leaned into, is that we all need haters in our life. And I'm just going to leave that there. So help me, Paula. I'm being courageous right now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I relaunched the business with a new direction last year, and I came back out and I said, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to wing it. I don't care if I say the right thing, don't say the right thing. They like the post, they don't. I don't really care. I'm just going to have fun doing what I'm doing. And, people like it, they don't. Every fragrance isn't for everybody. And I know who I am and what I have to offer. It's not for everyone. So I'm really not concerned. I'm really not concerned. If you like, you don't. Today is the first day I learned how to stream this to my YouTube. So my YouTube people are going to be looking at it. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. I'm not concerned. The bottom line is I did it. And every time I do something for me and the business and the people that I serve, that's worth it. I got a gold star. So the rest of you, oh, well. So that's how I help you out.
Right. Thank you so much. I'm going to give myself a gold star. I'm going to receive your gold star. Absolutely. And that's really what it's all about. And so that when we do the things that are uncomfortable for us, that's when we can evolve and grow. If we only stay in comfort, nothing grows in comfort. Nothing, not a seed, nothing is going to happen in comfort. And I want to shout out Coach Powell because he has an event. This comment is too long. I don't want to bring it up here. But he has an event that he's invited everyone to. Listen, get to know people. Let's really learn how to have some collaboration here. The details are in the comments. So please reach out to Coach Powell if you want to know about what he does. He brings so much value everywhere he goes. Sing your mind too. Oh, I love this comment. Sing your mind too. And I would love to sing. However, you don't want to hear me sing, I promise you, but you do want to hear our Queen Dr. Leslie Flowers sings. She highlights all these incredible songs that we knew from the 50s and 60s, and she brings these throwbacks. So you got to connect with her and check that out. He says, Coach Powell says, you must be your own biggest cheerleader. I concur. I agree with that. We've got to be willing to rah ourselves. And it does feel uncomfortable. Now, I'm not talking about being braggadocious. I'm not talking about being arrogant, but I'm saying you've got to have those little nuggets that you say to yourself when you're doing those things that you need to be courageous. Like, how do you bring yourself up? How do you pat yourself up? We're not talking about comparison. We're not talking about putting other people down. We're talking about getting outside of your own comfort zone, patching yourself up. Hey, we're all going to fall down and skin our knees sometimes. So it's not how we succeed, but it's really, to me, it's who we are when we fail. That's who we truly are. This is an incredible comment. Thank you so much, Coach Powell. We have another comment here by our Queen Dr. Leslie. I'm so sorry. This is covering you up, Miss Paula. Successful people make quick decisions and are very slow to change them. If you have a definite purpose, your decisions become rather simple. Absolutely. We know intuitively what we want to say sometimes. The answer is yes or no. We want to say no, but then we kind of talk to, oh, this is good. Okay, I'm not going to take too much because I want our amazing Paula. Do you have anything you'd like to respond back to that?
I think she said it very well. And she said it was a complete statement. That is, we have to show up, we make a decision, we stick with that decision. Always, when we stick with the decision, the one nice thing about making decisions, if it's not the correct one, we just make a course adjustment. We learn from the things that don't work, and then we celebrate the things that do. But what we learn is more powerful because we know what we need to include in our risk management strategies. We know how to create exit strategies for certain things because of what didn't work. So did we fail? No, it was the strategy that was incorrect. It was the timing possibly, or we weren't ready. It doesn't matter what it was. We're all going to make mistakes. That's not a problem. That's a given. We're all going to have deals that go awry. That's a given because it's business. But the beautiful thing about it is we're always learning and we're always evolving.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But it's having that courage to learn and evolve.
Exactly.
It really is. And sometimes that can be difficult for people. It doesn't mean that the old you was bad or wrong. It just means you were in a different space at that time. You were in a different career path. Maybe you were in a different place in your life. And now that evolution is requiring a next polished version of you. Not getting rid of the old you, love who you were, and then enjoy who you're becoming. So I think you're just so wise. That's what I love about you, Paula, is that you don't just bring knowledge, but you bring so much wisdom every time I hear you speak. I love the way you show up with your wisdom and your grace. Like, I just want to be a Paula, but we already have a Paula, but I want to find that next level. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this encore career. How do we know if we're ready to have that encore career? Maybe it's something we've been thinking about. How do we know if we're ready for that?
Okay, well, I'll share with you two different types of encore careers. The person that's on their job, they're doing very well and everything's fine, and they're bored and they're wanting a new challenge. And they don't want a promotion, they want something new. There's something inside of them that needs to come out. So that's the person that contacts a business coach to discuss with them, I'm thinking I want to make this exit. So they plan that out and they move for that. Then you have the business owner where the business may be a little stagnant or things may be a little not going in the direction they anticipated, but they never created a strategy to exit. So now they need someone to talk to figure out what's our next move. We're going to sell the company, close the company, set up something different, or revise the whole plan. And so when you're looking at those two types of individuals, they know something's going on innately, a little nervous about talking about it to people they know because they don't want to appear like they failed when actually they didn't. It is, we're finished with that. Let's move on to this. And every time we grow and we move to the next level in who we are as a person, we want more. We want to be challenged. We want to be mentally challenged. We want to be able to share the knowledge that we have. And we want to be able to make a difference. It comes to a point where it's really, yes, we're going to make money. That's a given. But it's about the impact we make and how we make people feel when they're in our space.
Yeah. To me, it is about that impact. Like, you can make money doing a lot of different things, but is that really in alignment with who you are? Do you really want to make an impact? And what is the impact you want to make? You got to ask yourself those tough questions. And if you're in that career where you're just not feeling that you're thriving, you're not growing, you're not feeling challenged, you might still be making a good career if you continue on that path. But really, what is the impact you want to leave? Or if that's not fulfilling you, then maybe it's time that you start exploring that encore career. And it doesn't mean that you fire your boss today, but maybe you have that exit plan, right? Talk about the exit plan. I love it.
Yes. You have to have an exit. In business, there's always, when we do risk management, and if you're not aware of that, in business, there's always an exit strategy. In life, you should have an exit strategy if relationships don't work, if partnerships don't work, if whatever it is, what is the alternative direction you're going to move in? I just started working with someone yesterday with a very senior position, and she gave her notice, and she was like, I'm done. I had enough. I'm not going in there anymore. And so she had set up a business before she left. And so now she's working with me to actually excel that brand. And another person that I work with, a young lady that I met many years ago, loved working with her. She was working for a high level IT company and wanted to leave to start her business with herself. And then her and her husband were going to do some things. So we came up with an 18-month exit strategy. Well, lo and behold, the division was downsized. So she was able to negotiate the package that we had already put together and walk out of there with that. And then when she left, unfortunately, one of their family members got ill, and she had to take caregiver for them. But she was still able to do the business in the background, in planning and in building and so forth. So she positioned herself to lead. And the opportunity came, and she walked out with everything that she wanted. And then she was able to help in the family where which she was needed. So you just don't know. Just go. Sometimes we just have to go and not think about it, because sometimes you don't get answers until you move. If you stay in the same spot, you're going to get the same thing. If you overthink, your brain's going to get tired. You'll be exhausted. And then, all kind of crazy things happen. You got headaches, you can't sleep, all of this. Why not just go? Just get up and go.
Yeah. And to me, it's like when we make those decisions, then those opportunities that may have already been there, we're open up our space in our mind to see those opportunities, right? Because you might be getting these gentle nudges, but you're not aware of it. So when you become aware of it, and that's when you see those spaces. I always think of Emmitt Smith. I'm a recovering Dallas Cowboy fan. And they did this incredible interview with Emmitt Smith years ago. And they asked him, Emmitt, we see you running into the pack, and then suddenly you're out the other side. We think you're going to get tackled, but then you run out the other side. And he says, well, the reason is because I'm just looking for a crease. I'm just looking for a little crease of light, and I go right towards that crease. And sometimes we got to look for the crease. It's already there, but we're not having it in our awareness.
Absolutely. And that's your personal vision. We have a personal vision, we have core values, and then we have a shared vision. The shared vision is whether it's a business or a job or family or whomever. But your personal vision, what happens, especially with women, when we go through different challenges in life, raising kids, teenagers, then off to college, those are all transitions. We live in a transition our whole life. And then, if you end up at the space or the time where you're caregiving, that's a huge responsibility, and you're never the same. But if you have that light of hope, that little light, that vision that that this is temporary, and when I get through this, I will be able to walk in this fully, and you start playing with that along the way. I call it playing with your toys. That gives you the confidence, the peace, and the joy within to keep going every day. Because sometimes it's extremely challenging, even if you have health challenges. I had a major health challenge several years ago. I went back to school and got another degree and created a business. So, you know what I mean? I said, well, I got to heal. Might as well do this, and that's what I did. And so, I'm not saying everybody's like that or has to do that, but look at everything as an opportunity.
Absolutely. And we have an opportunity to highlight a few more of our guest speakers, our people in the comments here. And these are long comments, Paul. I apologize. They're going to probably hide both of our faces. But this is a great comment by the great Christina Salgato. Looking to up-level your LinkedIn game. She's going to teach you how to really authentically show up and attract more clients. I love it. So she says it starts with speaking up, but it evolves with reaching out and taking daily action. Most women lose momentum in the learning. Produce balance. It's important during this pivots to treat your business like one. I love that comment. That is so fire. Yeah. And then here's another one. Absolutely. By our Queen Dr. Leslie, she said more people would be thrilled with what you're doing than those that will not. Focus on the ones that want to help you. I love that comment.
Mm-hmm.
That comment. It's easy to see the people or hear the voices that are putting us down, but really, let's think out the ones who are lifting us up, like Miss Nicole Angai Galindo. She is our brilliance behind guiding brilliant writers. If you are aspiring to be an author, you want to create a book like Miss Paula's done, you got to get with Miss Angai Galindo. Listen, I've always said I have no interest in writing a book, and now suddenly she's got me interested in writing a book. So I'm not sure how that all works, but definitely have a conversation with her. And I love this conversation. He says, you know what? Give yourself encouragement. Oh, he wants a gold. Will you give Mr. Coach Powell his gold star? Because he would love to have a gold star too.
Well, Coach Farrell, we're going to give you a gold star. Matter of fact, everybody who's listening, you all get a gold star. And guess what? You get to design it yourself.
There you go.
You know, in one of the exercises I have in the Encore Reset Journal, in the workshop we do, I say, give yourself an Oscar for your life performance. And guess what? We have crayons and markers and everything, and they all get to design their own Oscar and share it and show it because you deserve it. You deserve it. You showed up for yourself. You're here at this stage and age of your life. You deserve it. Whatever it is you feel, you think, you sense you want or believe, go for it because you deserve it. I mean, it takes time. It takes sacrifice. It takes everything we have sometimes to get up and do what we have to do, especially through those challenging times in life. So why not honor yourself every day and smile with your gold star, with your Oscar, or whatever it is that makes you happy?
Absolutely on point. Anyone can give themselves a gold star when things are going great.
Right.
Anyone can rah-rah themselves when they have just been on stage and they've got a roaring round of applause and you just won an Oscar, you just had the best-selling book. Like anyone can show up like that. But it's how you show up for yourself when things are going awry, how you show up for other people when you feel like you're drowning yourself. My mentor said this to me, and I just love it. You know, and I always think about this because we always have different challenges. He says, you know what? If you're feeling helpless, get helpful. Stop focusing on yourself and start finding opportunities to help others. And then you're going to watch that flip is going to switch. That switch is going to flip. I mean, I just believe that. We've got some great more comments here. I want to welcome Miss Merrill. Great to see you. So excited to have you here. And she is all about women empowerment too. You two should collaborate. I keep connecting with people.
I was actually on her show. She's a wonderful woman. We had such a great conversation.
Perfect. I love it. And here Miss Nick has, you know what, we must own our achievements.
Mm-hmm.
This is also how we show what we're capable of. I would love for you to speak on that, Paula.
You know, one of the things that I was wondering when I was doing the book and deciding to rearrange everything, and the question came up, you know, well, who's going to want this? Who's going to da-da-da? I said, who's not going to want it? I'm not playing with those thoughts. I'm done. I have accomplished all of this. I've came from all of this, and I didn't come through everything that I've been through for nothing and no small thing. And I'm not settling. No more. I'm not dealing with the negative thoughts. Shut up. And I went and I kept writing, and I did what I'm doing. And then I had to do a second book in two books in 1 year. Come on now. Anyhow, I had to do it. But the thing about it is, the negative, yes, there's a part of us that wants to protect us. But then there's also a part of us that, you know, it's worried about the hit. Well, it didn't work before. It wasn't time. I wasn't who I needed to be. I mean, I'm so grateful that all the things I wanted that didn't happen. I am so grateful to God that he didn't say yes to all this crazy stuff I wanted to do. And now looking back on those previous decades, I'm in my late 60s, I can look back and I can be so grateful for I know why everything was the way it was. It made sense. Everything connected. This connected to that. That connected to this. I have plans that I've written over 25 years ago that some of those ideas, some of those deals are coming to the table now. And all I got to do is pull out the proposal and rearrange it. Come on now. So we never know about timing. And we have to be who we need to be to walk in the fullness of what we expect. I tell business owners all the time, it's in my book, the other one, the first one. If you're in a business 1 to 5 years or 1 to 3 years, don't expect what you see everybody allegedly is doing, making $400,000 or $500,000 a month and all that other stuff. Don't expect all that for you. And if they're out there showing it off like that, are they really doing it? Because most people who are really in that at that level, they're not talking about it that way. They're continually empowering and building and growing, and they are growing other people. So be grateful for what you get, whatever contract you receive, be grateful for it. You know, I had a new business owner that I was mentoring, and she kind of annoyed me a little bit. And I told her, she says, well, I got 2 contracts, and but they're not the way not what I really want, but they are for 6 months apiece. I said, you got laid off 5 months ago, and you got 2 contracts, and you concerned because they're not what you want. And I began to tell her, most people don't have those opportunities, and you fell into it. Be grateful, because you have seasons. Christmas could be in August. It may come in March. Who knows? Because times and the seasons, businesses fluctuate. Cash flow fluctuates. All of these things. We're moving forward every day, but we have to be grateful for the opportunities that do come and the people that do come in our lives that want to work with us.
I love it. And people are picking up what you're putting down. They are smelling what you're cooking, because you're getting some great comments here, Miss Paula. I love it. And I love talking about gratitude. I've done something recently. I have a little daily download that I do at the end of the day. And usually I put down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And then I was doing some studying. And so now I flipped it. Not just 3 things that I'm grateful for, but I'm going to be grateful for the things that didn't go that way. I don't know the reason why they didn't go the way that I thought they would, but there must be something down the road that I'm missing. So that's kind of the upgrade that I've made recently, is truly being grateful for the things we didn't get, because He knows better than we do. He saw something down the road that he's protecting us from.
Absolutely. Excuse me. And an opportunity. This happened to me a couple years ago. I had a nonprofit I founded and was running to build wealth for women, girls, and families. Long story short, somebody had nominated me for something, and I didn't know anything about it. I wanted to go to this program at Oxford and got accepted and everything. I was all ready to go, right? And then my dad was sick, and at that time, single parenting, all that, and I couldn't go. So I was a little upset and annoyed. And then about 6 months later, I got a phone call from an organization out of New York. We heard about what you're doing, so-and-so, so-and-so. They want to sponsor you to go to this entrepreneurial program at Yale. Like, really? Really? And yes, because of the work that you've done and all the groups, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, and everything's paid for. I was like, oh, wow. Well, I would have had to pay for everything if I went to the Oxford program. The Yale program, all I had to do was put my clothes in my suitcase, and from my door to them and back home, nothing. It was the greatest experience I ever had in my life. Along with one of my mentors went to Yale, so when I came back, he was really excited. He took the credit. I didn't. Anyway, it was such a great experience. So I've had a lot of things like that happen, where something didn't go through, and then later on, something twice as better came. So do I regret the deal? No. Do I regret this? Not anymore, because I learned that is a pattern, and that is also protection. Many times we're being protected from things, and we don't know it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about any of you, but I've had a lot of protection lately. I'm going to flip it that way. A lot of things that don't go the way that we expected, but we got to just keep it moving. Paula said it. You got to keep going. You got to keep moving your feet. Closed mouths don't get fed, and nothing grows being static, right? We are meant to be evolving and growing and vibrant. And you can't do that by standing still. You just can't. It doesn't happen. Now, I've never seen it happen. Put it to you that way. I have a great comment that I highlight. It's a long one too, but I want to highlight this. Although there's so many great comments. Thank you for Christina. I love your comment too. I want to highlight this one because it just really speaks to what we're talking about. She's Miss Nick. She says, you know what? I had to pull myself up. I'm starting my second year in business and compared myself to someone in their 6th year in the same industry. Nope, not doing that. Not doing that. Let's get rid of that.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Nick. I'm so excited for you in your second year. And I'm looking forward to see, because you have change your perspective, what this time next year will look like. You're going to be doing something incredible. And you may have more than 5 stars there.
Woo! I think
we
we could give her a little star for even giving that, having the courage to say that
out loud. Yeah, because most people won't admit that, because you can't compare yourself to somebody else. You really don't know what they went through. And then you don't know if they're telling the truth. Not saying that they would lie, but we don't know the backstory. But the courage to be in business 2 years, to do what you're doing and help people write their stories, that's really admirable. And pat yourself on the back.
Yeah. I love that you said we don't know the backstory. We see the highlight reel on social media. You see people showing up and they're looking perfect. They've got the perfect background and they've got all the right filters and they've got all the perfect words, but you don't know what they had to do to get there. There's always an exchange. I don't believe in the word sacrifice. I call it an exchange principle. There's no such thing as something for nothing. You're going to exchange some time with your family in order to have that business going. You're going to exchange maybe getting up early and sleeping in, right, for getting up and getting into your business maybe earlier than you would care to, but you're exchanging something. And so many people want to have more, but they're unwilling to make that exchange. They want everything to be exactly the way it is. They want to walk right in there with all their gold stars and rainbows and butterflies. But you got to understand there is a backstory. It didn't just happen, although it may seem like an overnight success. Overnight success probably took them 5 or 10, maybe 20 years.
Absolutely, because you don't master anything until you've been in it 20 years. You don't reach your alchemist stage until you've lived it. Someone asked me, and oh, did you have I know you have a lot of books, but did AI help you write your book? I said, no, I wrote it myself. 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. I wrote it myself. I could tell you every comma, every period, everything on every page, because it's from my heart to the people that want to hear what I have to say. Now, if you choose to go in that direction, I would admonish you, you might want to get you a little job, because people know the difference between authenticity and fake. And I just came out like that because we have to be authentic. We have to be true who we are, because that's the only thing that is worth sharing and giving.
Mic drop. Love it. Clip that. I had someone say this recently, and it really made me rethink some things that I'm doing. And that is, they're like, if you see their eyes kind of fluttering around, it's because they don't know what they're really talking about. You want to talk to the person that can look in the camera and talk without a script, without anything, and give you the real deal. Those are the people that are giving that authentic, right? We talk about authentic, but then we have all this preparation. So it's, oh gosh, you've got so much wisdom. I just love it, Paula. I adore you. So any kind of parting words of somebody who is ready for that encore career? We kind of talked about how to know you're ready, some things you might want to do, maybe some preparation for that encore career. What are some things that they can prepare for, knowing that they're going to that next chapter, whatever that may be?
Well, there's 3 things. There's the clarity, there's the confidence, and then there's continuity. So we're going to start with clarity. Clarify who you are, what you want, why you want it, and what you need. That's the clarity. The confidence is, I'm not sure, but I'm going anyway. And write down the areas that you feel uncomfortable in, because you may be able to staff your weaknesses. And that weakness isn't a negative. It just means I can't see my blind spots. I don't know exactly. I might need a business coach. I may need a leadership coach. I may need to go and take a class and learn some new skills. That is not a negative. That's a positive. And then continuity, show up and be consistent. Every morning, if you're working or you're in another business or whatever your schedule is like, you take 2 hours a day and work on your next. 70% of your time you're doing what you do. And you have your 30% of you're looking at other things. So 20% of that 30, that's for your next. And then the 10% is the creativity side where you bridge the gap between the two. And you're going to find that it's all going to come together as you begin to move forward. Clarity, confidence, and continuity.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And I want
And
to
that's the
highlight.
encore era.
There you go.
In that encore era, it's the best season.
Absolutely. And I am going to be officially 20 years in my career on the 28th of February. So I love that you said that. I'm just getting my alchemy. I'm just getting seasoned, right? I'm just getting started. That's how I feel like. I feel like I'm just getting started.
Yes.
If you don't know me, just watch. Just watch. Just watch.
And that's the exciting thing about it. We are getting started. It doesn't matter when you start. It's new. It's something you've not done before. The way you're doing it, you're just getting started. Have fun with that. Can you celebrate yourself and honor? You should honor yourself at 20 years, having 2 careers, running a household manager at home. And then now you have this business and you're responsible for all these people and their legacies within their families, to make sure that their financial strategies and tools are the way they need to be, so that the generations can have some support as they grow forward. That's incredible. That's an honor. It really is, to be able to help people do that.
Yeah, it really is an honor. I don't take it lightly. And I really, with intention, I look at each family as being individual. And it takes a lot to do that, because in any career, we can start looking things and think, okay, I've seen this story before. I've kind of heard this before. No, we have to be willing to be a tabula rasa, a blank slate with every single one of the families that we're serving, right? Whether you're doing financial services or whatever you're doing, right? It doesn't mean that you're throwing away your wisdom, but it means that you are being open and aware and awake to listening to that family story. So that's huge, Paula. That's huge. Kind of winding down here. You made some new fans and friends and some old fans and friends. I know people are going to want to reach out to you. How do people find you? Where can they connect with you?
Okay. I just posted in the chat all my information. You can connect with me on my website, paulawashington.com. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, YouTube, Paula Washington. Was it at capital P, Paula, capital W, Washington as well. But all the information is in the chat, and you can email me also at hello@paulawashington.com. I'd love to chat with you and inspire and encourage you any way that I can.
Absolutely. And I know she means that genuinely. I would love for you to chat just really quick about, because February is a love letter month for me, and I'm talking about that with all my social media. And you have a love letter in here. I would love for you to just kind of touch on that. Well, in every material that I write, I always write a love letter to the people that
I'm sorry. And in this book, I put the love letter is letter to my future self. Here's an example to inspire you to write your own letter. Dear future me, girl, we made it. We walked through the fire. Now it's time to fly. From this moment in my encore era, I write with hope, confidence, and anticipation. I'm trusting you to honor the woman I'm becoming and to take up space, speak your truth, and build a legacy on your younger self, always dreamed of. May you continue to lead with courage, live with beauty, and create with intention. Remember, you are the evidence of what faith, vision, and resilience look like. With love and expectation, Paula.
Love it. We
And
gotta
that's my
write a
love letter to all
love
of you
letter to
today. And
ourselves.
it's in the book.
Oh my gosh, that's fire, fire, fire. This has been a lot of fun, Paula. I always enjoy collaborating with you. You always bring so much grace and wisdom, and I just absolutely adore you. Thank you for investing the time to be with us here and sharing some of your golden nuggets. We appreciate you. And now I'm going to go ahead and put you backstage as we just wind down here. And if you got some value from this, please let her know. Give her some love. Give her some gold stars. Listen, take a moment to rah her, because she definitely showed up to rah all of you, and collaborate with her. That's what it's all about, right? Collaboration is the new currency. And now we're winding down. This is a part where I talk about story time. And I want to just share story time here today is about the love letter. February is a love letter month, and I have been in this industry now 20 years. And I've unfortunately have had several clients who have passed away. And the love letter that you leave to your family is your life insurance policy. It is not easy to have those conversations. I understand that. But if you have the courage and you truly do want to take care of your family, I challenge you to sit down and have that conversation, review your policy, whether that's me or whether that's someone else. It is really important that we look at our love letter as a love letter. That life insurance policy is that last love letter. And I can tell you that anytime I deliver that death claim, it really is something that I really wonder how much value the person who took the time to invest in that policy really understands how impactful it is. The family doesn't have to worry about all your final expenses. They don't have to worry about how to liquidate your estate and paying taxes and different things like that, because you took the time to invest in that love letter. And it takes a little bit of courage. It takes a little bit of time. But I'm telling you, when you do that, you're going to have peace of mind. And you're going to be able to move differently in life, because it's not something in the background constantly. Because listen, we're all going to pass away at some point. So it's not a matter of if we're going to pass away, but are we going to know? Is someone going to tap you on the shoulder and say, you know what? Guess what? You only have one more day. You only have one more minute. You only have one more year. You only have one more month. Or is it just going to happen? Most of us, it's just going to happen. And we got to be prepared, folks. We got to be prepared, because we're champions. We are champions. If you showed up here, it's because you're a champion. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I appreciate you. I love you. Listen, Facebook, hello, Facebook. We love you. LinkedIn, great to see you on our YouTube channel. Share this with somebody who needs to hear this. And by the way, if you are looking for a speaking opportunity, I'm always looking for guest speakers. We're here every single Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we're highlighting you and what you do. And remember, if you're here, it's because you're the one in your family. You're the one in your family that's supposed to change your family's last name forever. You're the one in the family that's supposed to build that family dynasty, because your wealth today should be your dynasty tomorrow. So thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you, and talk to you soon. And listen, let's go. It's 2026. It's our year to rise up and get in the mix, because somebody is looking for you.
Are you ready to take control of your financial future? Introducing Leah Garcia's Wall of Wealth, the ultimate one-page financial plan to protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth with confidence. Whether you're a business owner or just starting your financial journey, this step-by-step guide gives you the tools to create a solid foundation for long-term success. Don't wait to transform your money mind shift. Download your free copy today at Leah Garcia. WealthyWed.io and start building your wall of wealth now.